I'm gonna go ahead and make a rash generalization. Spongebob Squarepants is the most culturally relevant TV show in the era of the internet. It's inspired many a meme, a smut, a meme smut, and YouTube poop.
You will die.
What the fuck?
For some reason, despite the fact that it is like the most popular cartoon ever, it's a show that's been famously banned from the TVs of parents who want their kids to graduate super cum load. It's not super cum load? And I understand. The show isn't very educational. However, I even think that an argument could be made that SpongeBob SquarePants is wittier than a lot of cartoons that came before it. Don't come for me. It's a great show. It's got this universality to it. You've got lowbrow stoner style comedy.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No! This is Patrick!
You've got the Tom and Jerry slapstick. Outright body horror. And even musings on existential nihilism. Look, if Carson Ronquist can make a whole video about it, I'm allowed to say it once. So beyond just being kind of annoying to parents, why is it that so many parents are okay with things like Tom and Jerry, but they won't let them watch SpongeBob? What is the yellow sponge hiding? Why are people so eager to know who this asexual peripheratic sea creature is having sex with? Let's talk about the gay SpongeBob phenomenon. Season 3 of Bob l'Éponge is often argued to be a bigger peak in the show's quality, and the episode Rockabye Bye Valve is definitely among some of the more iconic episodes. But it ushered in what might be one of the biggest arguments and pushbacks against the show, which is the show's gay agenda. The episode follows SpongeBob and Patrick as they discover a baby bird, or a scallop, and they decide to have a crack at parenthood. SpongeBob takes on the role of a caring mother, while Patrick takes on the role of a neglectful workaholic father. SpongeBob goes all Skylar White on Patrick, and then the baby, it takes after the kid from Antichrist and jumps out of a window and falls to its death. Just kidding, it's a bird, so it flies away off into the wild. And generally, the episode is well received. Like I said, it's actually pretty iconic. But a lot were worried about what they saw as this candid depiction of a gay marriage. But I feel like it's pretty obvious that SpongeBob and Patrick are just playing house to take after this pet. And also, at the end of the day, the whole gay thing in the show is played for laughs anyways. I can't help but bring up Looney Tunes again, because Bugs Bunny got away with this all the time. All the time. But 3 years later, on January 11th, James C. Dobson, an evangelical Christian author and founder of Focus on the Family, would speak at a black tie dinner about the dangers of SpongeBob SquarePants, arguing that he was being used in a pro-homosexual video, which encourages kids to commit the outrageous act of practicing basic tolerance. The pro-homo video that Dobson is referring to is actually a video made by Nile Rodgers, the singer of that song that goes like, "We are family." That 70s hit that was used in every single 2000s comedy for some reason. And I mean, after all, it's so darn catchy. Rodgers wanted to create a video that would have 100 different characters all singing the song together in reaction to September 11th. Dobson would later speak out in an interview with Joe Scarborough saying, "Look, I never meant to call SpongeBob gay. That wasn't what I was going for. He's just pro-gay." That's a bit much for me. I didn't talk about SpongeBob, except to say that he was included in a video that's done by the We Are Family Foundation. There are 100 cartoon characters, from the Muppets to Sesame Street to Jimmy Neutron, to all those characters that kids love, and that the video was for the purpose of supporting or promoting the diversity and tolerance. And it's been sent to that 61,000 elementary schools, and from that can come all kinds of mischief that we are concerned about. That's what I was talking about. Scarborough would question him about the whole mischievous thing, because, I mean, what's mischievous about tolerance? And here's what he said. Well, if you look at the We Are Family Foundation, or at least if you did before last week when they pulled it off their website, you see the linkage to homosexual advocacy. You see linkages to the gay and lesbian organizations, 5 of them. You see a tolerance pledge to get supposedly kids and others to sign this pledge, pledging to think differently about sexual identity and so on. There's a teacher's guide that was there that gets kids talking about what it would be like if you changed your identity or if you were homosexual. and it's a guide for how to talk kids through this, to think differently about homosexuality. Remember, parents, if your kid ever asks about homosexuality, all you gotta do is hand them the Bible, sit them in a corner, and let them figure it out. If they ain't figured it out yet, you gotta whoop their ass to make sure they're not a mischievous little So Bill Meyer over at Baptist Press wrote a list of all the sort of ideals associated with the We Are Family Foundation that are just outright dangerous. So let's go ahead and, take a look. I should point out that Bill Meyer actually does write articles for the Focus on the Family Foundation, so you know where he leans. Suggestions on how to persuade school librarians to highlight books that are representative of all sexual orientations. Suggestions on how to persuade school librarians to highlight books that are representative of all sexual orientations. See, no matter where you stand on sexual orientation, you have to read up on it on your own. So if a kid comes up to a librarian and says, "Hello, where are the gay books?" and a librarian says, "There are the gay books," the kid isn't going to turn gay. Methods to initiate classroom discussion of homophobia and compulsory heterosexuality. I can see how if you're homophobic, probably don't want to hear about homophobia. Instructions on teaching students how to construct a pyramid of hate, a diagram illustrating acts of genocide that have been committed against individuals due to, among other things, their sexual orientation. Of all things, Mr. Bill decides to attack the anti-genocide stance. What? A section on appreciating diversity that encourages kids to consider what might interest them in other sexual orientations. Again, it's just sort of getting upset at the idea of diversity and tolerance and sort of, being able to educate yourself. And what I think Dobson didn't see coming is the wave of queer people who, after this, actually clung on to SpongeBob more than ever. People began to view SpongeBob as a gay icon just because his words were misconstrued. And the subject of SpongeBob's sexuality became such a big deal that even the late Stephen Hillenburg weighed in on the issue. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're trying to do, Hillenburg tells Reuters. We never intended them to be gay. I consider them to be almost asexual. We're just trying to be funny, and this has got nothing to do with the show. Because contrary to popular belief, sea sponges don't get it on all that often. And now we can fast forward to the sweet, sweet year of 2020. This is when the Nickelodeon Twitter account shared SpongeBob among a couple of other queer characters from Nickelodeon. And after this happened, it kind of went crazy. A lot of people jumped on it like, SpongeBob's woke now, Hillenburg never wanted this. Which Hillenburg did. He mentioned SpongeBob as asexual, and asexual people are members of the LGBTQ community. And just to clarify, there are gay asexual people, so SpongeBob could be gay. But as of right now, what we know for a fact is he's asexual, and we love him for it. And even if SpongeBob is gay, this brings up a really great quote from a philosopher by the name of Lil Nas X. All jokes aside, the idea of a gay agenda doesn't make sense. If someone influenced you to suck, you probably already wanted to suck. And the unfortunate truth is, despite all of Mr. Dobson's efforts, SpongeBob is a queer icon more than ever now. There was a Pride store in New York that said, SpongeBob was the character that was flying off the shelves more than anything. And Mr. Dobson did very little to minimize that. More than anything, all he did was secure SpongeBob's place as an LGBTQ icon, so thanks, Dobson? I don't know. Nice job. Go Pride.
Can you see? It's just me. I'm